You're listening to an LPC Productions audio adventure. Headphone listening is advised.
Number 4.
This time you stay inside, Iris.
Doctor, you do not have to treat me like a child. I'm an adult, capable of making my own decisions.
Just stay inside the TARDIS. I will let you know when it's safe, and most importantly, where we are.
Yes, Dad.
Where have you brought us now, old girl? We could be everywhere. Gosh, it sure is dark here. I can barely see my own hands. Just the perfect day to leave my torch in my other coat. Right, I better walk carefully, not to bump into anything. Whoa! Is that blood?
Got you red-handed.
You could say that, literally and figuratively.
Well, that's quite an assumption. The figurative part, at least. And can you please stop shining that light into my eyes?
You were under arrest for murder.
Murder? What murder? Of whom?
The murder you just committed. Your hands are still red with blood, and lest we forget, you are kneeling beside the victim.
Victim? Oh, blimey! Well, put that flashlight to good use then and help me to look at the body. We might find evidence here.
I think you've looked at that body enough. We've got all the evidence we need. System, start recording. New London, 1:47 a.m., January 13th, 2411.
Oh, wait! I'm on New Earth.
Of course. Have you visited New Earth before?
We're the ones asking the questions. Police station, Upper North Nabumbu, interrogation of suspect. What is your name?
The doctor.
We did not ask you about your occupation. The question was, what is your name?
As I said, the doctor.
You think this is funny? We are not in the mood for games.
No, we are not. We had to deal with 2 brutal murders tonight.
Hey Sullivan, how about we don't share vital information with a suspect? For the third and final time, what is your name?
Smith. Dr. John Smith.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Date and location of birth?
I was born under the sign of cross computers located in the constellation of Testreaders.
Dear Dr. Smith, could you please take this seriously and just give us a date and address?
November 23rd, 63, 76, Torres Lane, New London.
Jovanka, there's no Totters Lane in our database.
Then your database is in need of an update.
Just enter the data, Sullivan. Dr. Smith, what is your motive to have murdered these 4 people?
Wait, there have been more than 2 murders.
These victims on the screen, Dr. Smith.
How horrible. Those mutilations, those poor innocent souls. Who would do something like that?
Do not play at being innocent, Dr. Smith.
I did not murder this person, and surely not the other 3. I just arrived here, literally stumbled upon the body and fell right into the open wound. Hence, my hands are covered in blood.
That is a wonderful fairy tale, Dr. Smith.
What evidence do you have against me that I was at the other crime scenes?
Listen, Jovanka. He has a point. We couldn't read his DNA, but it showed up completely differently compared to those energy readings we got at the other scenes.
What energy readings?
Sullivan, what did I say about confidential information? The evidence is that he was at the crime scene of the last victim.
Sullivan, you think that you have no evidence against this person? What would your grandmother think? Let him go.
The higher-ups say we have to let him go.
Surely you can't be serious.
They saw our report and the lab results and are quite sure of his innocence.
Dr. Smith, you can leave.
Thank you both. I do hope that you will find the murderer. Goodbye, officers! Jovanka and Sullivan. What are the chances?
They just let you go?
Well, just remind me to go back in time to get myself out of this one. Back to the point. We now know that we're on New Earth and the date is January 13th, 2411.
Well, luckily for you, we're in the 24th century and not the 21st. Then you would have ended up in prison for sure.
Prison? Well, if you have seen one, you have seen them all.
But what about the murder? It was a serial case, wasn't it? Were they gross?
Very. But when I saw those images of the other victims, it all seemed familiar to me. It's no coincidence that we landed here, Iris.
What can we do?
Investigate, Iris. Investigate.
Well, you can count me in. I'm always in for a good investigation. There's a wee problem, however.
Which is...
We don't have access to the police files you saw. And we can't just ask for them either. Like, imagine the former suspect of a murder case asking for the files.
No problem. We have those files here.
How's that possible? Oh, you downloaded them on your thingamabob, your sonic... What did you call it?
Screwdriver! You well know that I don't have it right now. Stop it. Come over here and I will show you. I have access to the entire police database. It's not just a police box for show, you know?
That could be very useful someday.
New Earth. 2411. Murders. Police files. Ah! Here they are! Now, let's see. There are records here for 5 victims. That means that there will be another one in the near future.
Ooh, can I also see those records?
I am warning you, Iris. These images are horrifying.
Clearly you've never looked into my search history. I can take a look, Doctor. How could someone do that to another person? Seems more the work of a beast than of a man. And this looks familiar to you?
Yes, indeed. The trouble is that I cannot remember where and when I saw the same mutilations on a human body.
The lodger!
What? Oh! The lodger! No, but that's impossible. That story was written more than 500 years ago.
No, exactly 500 years. According to the story, those murders took place in London in 1911 between the beginning of December that previous year until the end of February. You said that today's date was January 13th, right?
Yes. And what is the significance of January 13th?
January 13th is when the twofold affair took place. Both Ellen Bunting and Daisy Tripp were killed that night. I read that the body of Daisy Tripp was more mutilated than the victims that came before her. Her face was mutilated and several organs were removed.
On the off chance there is any connection, we should investigate. Maybe we can prevent the 5th victim in 2411 from becoming a fact. Now off to London, January 1911.
The game is afoot. Oh, I can't wait to go outside and experience London of 1911. I'll be in the wardrobe if you need me.
That will not be necessary. We will not go outside.
What? Not go outside? Why not?
Because, Iris, it is too dangerous. There is a serial killer on the loose. Besides, it is not necessary to go outside. We landed at the location where the murder of Daisy Tripp will take place, Earl's Court Square. We will observe this event from inside the TARDIS on the main screen.
Observe this event, Doctor! An innocent person will be murdered and you talk about it as if you're watching a game of cricket.
I'm doing this for your safety, Iris.
My safety?
Your sanity, then. Okay, go outside and bear witness to this brutal murder. See how that will affect you.
And seeing it on a screen will not affect my sanity?
No, it will not. Your brain will interpret it as seeing a movie on the television. Though it will still be horrible, you must think with the mind of a Time Lord and try to see these images as shadows from the past.
Okay, but how can I do that? We're here and now.
Yes, we are. This murder will happen, and there is nothing we can do about it. It seems like this is taking place in the present, but for us, this is part of history. By observing it, we may save someone in the future. The death of one person will save the life of another person. Do you understand that, Iris?
Yes, Doctor. I understand. What time is it?
It is 1:30 in the morning. Why?
According to the police report, Daisy Tripp was found around 1:45 and last seen around 1:30. Therefore, she was murdered between 1:30 and 1:45.
I will turn on the main viewing screen and put the TARDIS in observation mode. The TARDIS will be invisible and collect the data needed for our investigation in 2411.
This is a quiet place. Nobody comes here at this hour, love. No hurry.
The ideal spot.
Come here, and I'll treat you beyond your dreams, love. Oh, you're one of those, wanting to do things your missus won't let you. Don't be shy. Put your arms around me, love. I will be quiet.
That makes 4.
Another victim of the Avenger.
Did you see that?
Of course I saw it. The brutal murder of that woman. Why are you excited about that, Doctor?
The strange glowing of the lodger. And if I'm not mistaken, he changed his appearance.
Sorry, Doctor. I must have missed that then. Quite frankly, even though I'm very interested in myths like these, I looked away from most of it.
It's okay, Iris. I understand. But now we have a solid lead. Let's see what the TARDIS has observed and recorded. That is interesting. Very, very interesting. Huh.
What is so interesting, Doctor? Can I see?
There was an energy reading of exactly 8.226 watts coming from the lodger. Look, Iris, he indeed changed his appearance.
That could explain why during the investigation of the lodger killings they never caught anyone. There were a lot of suspects because there were different descriptions. That explains everything. He changed appearance. It could have been anyone.
That is useful information indeed. We should track him further through 1911.
Why should we be looking for him in 1911? We better go to 2411 and save the next victim.
Yes, that too, but in order to stop him, we have to know where the lodger comes from, and most importantly, what creature he is.
You reckon he's an alien? Oh, I never thought of that possibility.
Iris, you have such a knowledge of the lodger killings. What should be our next destination?
The next murder took place on January 22nd, 1911. 27A Wimpole Street, Marylebone, London. The victim was Jonathan Drew. We best land in or near New Cavendish Street around 11:45. Finally, some fresh air.
Ah, lovely. With a whiff of tame skull and death.
Nice to know. Doctor, do you really think you can find the lodger with that device?
I don't think so. I know so. This device is set to 8.226 watts. With that, we can trace the lodger. Let's be quiet from now on.
Doctor! The device is doing something.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go, but quiet. The lodger must not be disturbed. Yes! Iris, look! It's that guy.
Which one?
That's a dapper man with a top hat and a long dark coat carrying a Gladstone bag.
Yes, I can see him. And he's with a person. That must be Jonathan Drew. I'll investigate. You stay here.
Iris, wait!
We can discuss business in my room. It's right around the corner. There we have some more privacy.
That is a great idea. You go ahead. I'll follow. Closely.
That's close enough!
Who do you think you are to have such a tone with me, human?
Mr. Drew, for your own safety, go to your house, lock your door, and do not open it for anybody.
Who are you?
Your guardian angel, now go!
Iris! I clearly said no interruptions.
But Doctor!
No buts. Go to the TARDIS and wait there until I return. We have a lot to discuss. Now, Iris.
Yes. Keep your younglings in check, Time Lords.
You know of my people. Then you know me. That saves an introduction on my part. The question remains. Who or what are you?
We are an immortal entity. We come from before the creation of the universe and have roamed it ever since. Throughout the eons, we had many names and forms. Some are remembered, others are lost to time.
Ah, you are one of the great old ones. What is the reason that you murdered these poor innocent souls?
For the hunt. The hunt comes before the great rest. After the great rest comes another hunt. After that hunt comes another great rest. That is how it has been in this new universe and in the one before that. An endless cycle.
Okay. I understand. You hunt and go into hibernation, the Great Rest.
We always must hunt the 5. If the hunt for the 5 is completed, we can have a great rest for the same.
Wait. You kill 5 humans and then you sleep for 500 years. That is your life cycle.
We stand above the concept of time. We only note that the world around us has changed after the Great Rest. Our only purpose then is the hunt. This hunt is coming to an end. Just one more, and the Great Rest can begin again. Can we continue with this hunt? Or will you stop us, Time Lord?
No. I will not stop you. You can have your hunt and have your great rest.
We are grateful to you, Time Lord.
Did the police arrest him?
No, Iris, they did not. I let it go.
Let him go? Why? Why? What good excuse could you have to let this man go? The Slayer! You know he's a serial killer. Not just now in 1911, but as we know, also in 2411.
It is not a man. It is an ancient life form.
I thought I saved Jonathan Drew. Now he will find his death by the Lodge's murderous hands in the most brutal way. Doctor, I know the story. He will slaughter him like an animal. An animal, Doctor!
Iris, please listen to me for a moment. The Lodge is not a man. It is an ancient life form with an extraordinary life cycle. It needs to murder those 5 people to sleep for 500 years. If it cannot complete its cycle, it will throw off the balance of the universe in ways you cannot even imagine.
I mean, that's an excuse to kill innocent people in 1911? Doctor, what about the victims in 2411? We can still save them, right?
No, we can't. I made my decision to let it go, so it will continue its life cycle.
You made the decision? What right do you have to make that kind of decision? We're talking about the lives of innocent people. You cannot decide when and how a person's life will end. You're not an almighty being. You're just a Time Lord. You're thousands of years old. You don't understand anything about the choice between life and death of someone who lives just 100.
I don't understand the choice between life and death. Iris, I have seen the horror of a war. A war for the sake of all creation. The last great time war. I have fought against nightmarish creatures. The horde of travesties, the army of meanwhiles and never-worse led by the could-have-been king. At the beginning of this war, I led armies. Armies consisting of Time Lords. My own people, Iris. I had to make the decision to send those armies into battle, knowing that they would not return from it. I sent them to their death. How did I make that choice between life and death? As a Time Lord. I saw the Time War through the eternity of time itself. I did the same with my decision to let the Lodge continue its life cycle.
I didn't know that about you. You said the eternity of time itself? What do you mean by that?
To put it in words you would understand, the bigger picture.
The bigger picture?
Yes, Iris, let me explain. You see, the life cycle of the Lodge creature brings a certain balance to the universe. To survive, it needs to hunt. If you see that hunt in the context of the bigger picture, the eternity of time, then that is just 5 humans every 500 years.
Okay, but 5 innocent humans. In 2411, 5 innocent humans will die because of you. That's inhumane.
Yes, they will, and I can live with the decision that I made. You say inhumane. Iris, can you live with the thought that in the time that humans have occupied this earth, millions of innocent people have died in unnecessary wars about who owns this or that piece of land, or who sits on what throne? Let's not forget the genocides done by your humans, deciding that a certain group of your own human race is less than you and needs to be murdered on a massive scale. Then there's slavery, defining that because of a different color of skin, you can treat people as some kind of commodity. Let me tell you that in the future it will not change very much. Yes, humans will become more civilized, but there will always be innocent people who will die due to decisions made by someone higher up. Do not think that your humans are blameless.
Yeah, but Doctor, you cannot blame me for all of that.
No, Iris, I cannot. But what I hope you will do is that you think about it. Maybe you can change your mind, just think about it. Judge my decision to let the logic creature go. Examine it in the eternity of time itself. Find the balance in it. On the one scale, you have 5 lives every 500 years. On the other scale, you have millions of lives, an entire universe. Then make your own decision. What would you do?